town of Pompeii was built on a low hill of volcanic rock about 5 miles south of Mount Vesuvius and close to the mouth of a small river. It was one of a number of prosperous towns in the fertile region of Campania. Outside the towns, especially along the coast of the bay, there were many villas and farming estates, often owned by wealthy Romans who were attracted to the area by its pleasant climate and peaceful surroundings. The town itself covered 163 acres and was surrounded by a wall. The wall had 11 towers and 8 gates. Roads led out from these gates to the neighboring towns of Herculaneum, Nola, Nuceria, and Stabii, and to the harbor. 2 wide main streets, known today as the Street of Shops and the Stabii Street, crossed near the center of the town. A third main street ran parallel to the Street of Shops. The other streets, most of which also ran in straight lines, divided the town neatly into blocks. Most streets probably did not have names, and a stranger visiting the town would have had to ask the way from the local people. The present names were invented in modern times to make identification and location of buildings easier. The streets, constructed of volcanic stone, had high paved sidewalks on one or both sides to enable pedestrians to avoid the traffic of wagons, horses, and mules, and to keep out of the garbage and rainwater that collected in the roadway. Stepping stones provided a convenient crossing place. In all the main streets there were bakers, shops, and bars where hot and cold drinks and snacks could be bought. The main shopping areas were in the Forum and along the Street of Shops to the northeast of the Stabian Baths. Carved or painted signs indicated different kinds of stores. The figure of a goat announced a dairy, a hammer and chisel advertised a stonemason. General advertisements and public notices were painted on the whitewashed walls outside shops and houses. We can still see notices advertising shows in the amphitheater and political slogans supporting candidates in the local elections. At the western end of town was the Forum. This large and impressive open space, with a covered colonnade on 3 sides, was a center of business, local government, and religion. There were 2 theaters. Popular shows for large audiences were performed in the big open-air theater, which could hold about 5,000 people, while the smaller one, which was roofed, was used for concerts and for other shows. At the eastern end of the town was a huge sports ground, and next to it an amphitheater, in which gladiatorial combats and wild animal hunts were staged. This amphitheater was large enough to seat every inhabitant in Pompeii and visitors from neighboring towns as well. Like a modern seaport, Pompeii was a place where people of many nationalities were to be seen: Romans, Greeks, Syrians, Jews, Africans, Spaniards, and probably several other nationalities as well, with their different languages and different religions. This regular coming and going of people, many of whom were merchants and businessmen, was made possible by the peaceful conditions at the time that existed throughout the provinces of the Roman Empire. From Britain in the northwest to Syria and Palestine in the east, Rome maintained palace and provided firm government. The frontiers of the empire were held secure by Roman troops stationed at important points. A system of well-built roads made travel by land relatively easy and provided an effective means of communication between Rome and distant parts of the empire. For many purposes, particularly for trade, travel by sea was more convenient. Ships carried cargoes of building materials, foodstuffs, and luxury goods across the Mediterranean. Pompeii was not a large town, but it played its part in the flourishing commercial and cultural life of the empire.